Welcome to today's lesson. Our subject for today is mathematics, and our topic is fractions, types and conversion of fractions into decimal and percentage. After today's lesson, you should be able to answer questions based on this topic. If you find this topic interesting, please like, subscribe, and comment any answer or questions you have in the comment section below. Now, let us kick off by saying, what is a fraction? A fraction is a number that represents a part of a whole, a part of a group, or the result of a division. A fraction is a number that represents a part of a whole, a part of a group, or the result of a division. For example, if a pizza has 8 slices and you ate 3 slices, what fraction of the pizza did you eat? What fraction of the pizza did you eat? You ate 3 slices of pizza out of the 8 slices of pizza. So the fraction of the pizza you ate is 3 over 8. The fraction of the pizza you ate is 3 over 8. Now let us look at another example. A class has 10 students. If 3 of the students are girls, what fraction of the class is girls? A class has 10 students. If 3 of the students are girls, what fraction of the class is girls? Answer: there are 3 girls out of all 10 students. Therefore, the fraction of the class that is made up of girls is 3 over 10. Now, do you understand why I say that a fraction is a part of a whole number or a group? Now, let us move on to the types of fraction. There are 3 types of fraction, or there are more than that, but I will mention 3 types of fraction. Now, a fraction has 2 sides, the numerator and the denominator. A fraction has 2 sides, the numerator and the denominator. The numerator is above the denominator, and the denominator is below the numerator. Now we look at the types of fraction. Now, the first type of fraction is a proper fraction. This is a fraction in which the numerator is less than the denominator. This is a fraction in which the numerator is less than the denominator. Examples include 3 over 5, 9 over 10, 14 over 15. As you can see, 3 is the numerator and 5 is the denominator, and 3 is less than 5. 9 is the numerator and 10 is the denominator, and 9 is less than 10. 14 is the numerator and 15 is the denominator, and 14 is less than 15. Therefore, these are examples of proper fraction. The second type of fraction we are going to be looking at is mixed fraction. A mixed fraction is a fraction that is made up of a whole number and a proper fraction. A mixed fraction is a fraction that is made up of a whole number and a proper fraction. Examples of mixed fraction include, these are examples of mixed fraction. 1 whole number, 2 over 3. The 1 is the whole number, 2 over 3 is a proper fraction, because 2 as the numerator is less than 3, which is the denominator. Then the next example is 2 whole number, 1 over 5. Okay? Note, a fraction can be converted into either a decimal or a percentage. But first, let us look at the third type of fraction. The third type of fraction is equivalent fractions. These are fractions that have the same value but different numerators and denominators. These are fractions that have the same value but different numerators and denominators. Examples include 2 over 5 is the same thing as 4 over 10, and 3 over 4 is the same thing as 6 over 8. These are examples of equivalent fractions. And how can you convert 4 over 10 to 2 over 5? Simple. You divide the numerator by the denominator by a whole number that leaves no remainder after division. For example, to convert 4 over 10 to 2 over 5, we divide by 2. You divide both the numerator and the denominator by the same whole numbers that won't leave you a remainder. What is common to both 4 and 10? 2. So we divide 4 by 2, getting 2, and we divide 10 by 2, we got 5. Therefore, the lowest possible way, or the lowest form of 4 over 10 is 2 over 5. And 3 over 4, conversion of 6 over 8 to 3 over 4. We divide by the whole number that is common to both of them and has no remainder upon division. We see that 2 is common with both of them, so we divide the numerator, which is 6, by 2, and the denominator, which is 8, by 2. When we divide 6 divided by 2, we got 3. 8 divided by 4, we got 4 as the denominator. Now we move on to conversion of fractions into percentages. First, let us talk about one more type of fraction, which is improper fractions. These are fractions in which the numerator is bigger than the denominator. Yes, there is a fraction that is called improper fractions in which the numerator is bigger than the denominator. As you can see here, 5 is the numerator and it is larger in terms of value than the denominator, which is 2. Examples include 5 over 2, 4 over 3, 7 over 4, and many more. Note, improper fractions can be converted to mixed fractions, and the conversion is this way. First, you divide the numerator by the denominator. 5 divided by 2 is 2 remainder 1. Therefore, the mixed fraction is 2 whole number 1 over 2. Now let us look at another example. Convert 4 over 3 into the mixed fraction. 4 divided by 3 is 1 remainder 1. Therefore, the mixed fraction is 1 whole number 1 over 3. Now you can convert mixed fraction into improper fraction. First, you multiply the whole number by the denominator. First, you multiply the denominator by the whole number. Then you add whatever value you get to the numerator. In this instance, we have 3 times 1, where 1 is the whole number, we have 3. Then 3 plus 1, where 1 is the numerator, we have 4. Therefore, the improper fraction is 4 over 3. Another example is 2 times 2. Conversion of 2 whole number 1 over 2 to improper fraction. Let us convert 2 number 1 over 2 into improper fraction. First, you multiply 2 times 2. We are converting 2 whole number 1 over 2 into an improper fraction. 2 times 2 is 4 plus this whole number, which is 1. That is 5. Therefore, the improper fraction is 5 over 2. Now, let us look at conversion of fractions into percentage. We multiply the fraction by 100%. For example, we have 2 over 5. 2 over 5 times 100% is 200 over 5, and 200 divided by 5 is 40. Therefore, the percentage is 40%. Let us look at another example. 3 over 6 is 3 over 6 times 100%, which is 300 over 6, and 300 divided by 6 is 50%. Therefore, 3 over 6 in percentage is 50%. Now, we look at converting fractions to decimals. Now, to convert a fraction such as 2 over 5 to a decimal, you follow these step-by-step procedures. First, you do 2 divided by 5, all right? So how many 5 can you see in 2? 0. So you write down 0. Now, after that 0, you multiply that 2 by 10, which will give you 20. So after doing that, you put a point or a decimal point in front of that 0. Now you divide again. 20 divided by 5, which is 4. 20 divided by 5 is 4. You write the 4 here. Therefore, 2 over 5 is 0.4. Now 5 times 4 is 20. Again, 5 in 2 is 0. Then you put a point after the 0 or a decimal point after the 0. Then you multiply that 2 by 20. Now 5 in 20 is 4. You write the 4 on top, 0.4. Then 5 times that 4 is 20. You do 20 minus 20, which will give you 0. So this is where the decimal ends. Therefore, 2 over 5 is 0.4. Now let us look at another example. Now we have to convert 8 over 5 to decimal. Now, how many 5 can you see in 8? We can find only one 5. 1. After that, it will have a remainder of 3. So this is 1. 5 times 1 is 5. We write it down. Then 8 minus 5 is 3. How many 5 can we see in 3? 0. 3 cannot contain 5 because 5 is bigger than it. Then we put a decimal point there in front of 1 because of 3 divided by 5 cannot give us a whole number. Now, after putting a decimal point, we multiply 3 by 10 to give us 30. Now, 5 in 30 is 6, or 30 divided by 5 is 6. We write the 6 down. Now, we do 5 times 6, which gives us 30. 30 minus 30 is 0. Therefore, this is the end of the decimal. So, 8 over 5 is 1.6. 1.6. There are other examples. However, this is the do-it-yourself session. We are almost done with the class. Do-it-yourself section. The question for the do-it-yourself session is, convert 4 over 5 to a decimal. Now, I have given you the step-by-step procedure of converting to a decimal. Convert 4 over 5 to a decimal. Send your answers to the comment section below. If you like today's content, please like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so that you will not miss similar content. Thank you and goodbye.